Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with another Minks Monday Q&A, so let's get started. I have a few questions from Instagram. I will do those and then I will just delve right into the other YouTube questions. Okay, so the very first one is from Wayne Likes LV. How do you think the thinner canvas affects the quality of SLGs and handbags? That's a very good question. I do think that thinner canvas affects the quality of both the SLGs and handbags. I think that especially for the SLGs, if it's a piece that you wear a lot and it's a piece that you deal with on the daily, I think that the wear and tear will be a lot more excessive in the thinner canvas. And as far as the bags, I think that they don't age as gracefully. They tend to sag a little bit more than they should. And I think appealing, they're not very appealing. So I do think that it affects it definitely. Not only that, the canvas itself feels so flimsy that at times, sometimes you're just like, is this, I know it's authentic, but it feels like it's not authentic, as bad as that sounds. Okay, and Gail Lynn, do you ever buy pre-loved for vintage? If so, do you have a eBay seller or Etsy seller you trust? I don't have a specific eBay seller or Etsy seller. Usually when I go onto eBay, if I do go through eBay, it's just the luck of the draw. I tend to look at all the listings, and depending upon the description and the feedback of the seller, or if I have any other questions, I'll ask them. And depending upon that is if I'll lean towards them. I don't necessarily go towards anybody that's more like a store or that has a lot of quantity of Louis Vuitton or Chanel or whatever the piece is. And it tends to freak me out sometimes. I don't know why. Versus having someone that sells maybe one or two pieces here and there from their own collection. Not only that, I've seen a few stores where they have a lot to sell of high-end luxury goods, and sometimes on their description it says that it has a very strong, like, musty smell. So that kind of, I tend to shy away from those. And as far as buying pre-loved for vintage, I don't think I have, a big array of vintage pieces. They're all pretty much from the last 10, 15 years of when I started collecting. However, there is one piece that I'm looking for that is vintage, and I have yet to find it, and that is a Speedy 30 in the monogram from the 80s, because that's when I was born. I want a bag of the year that I was born. Just to have it. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to find one because every time I look for one, they are completely trashed. So not only that, the seller ends up asking, some ridiculous amount of money for it. So I don't know. I'm on the journey. I'm on the quest to find a Speedy 30 that's as old as I am. Is that silly? Hopefully not. And the last one for my Instagram is from LV for Huggy Mom. Are you still considering adding beauty to your channel? And yes, I am. I just don't know exactly how I want to start it. As I said, I don't want you guys to think that that I'm all knowledgeable in beauty, because I'm not. Like I said, I put on my makeup very unruly, and I don't know exactly how I'm going to incorporate that. So I think what I'm thinking so far is I might do like Minks Makeup Mondays, or I don't know, something to that effect. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the description box below, or the comments down below. And that way, I want to be able to make it fun and exciting for you guys. I don't want it to be boring. So I think that's what concerns me the most. Okay, so let's move on. Trying to go through all these as quickly as possible. All right, and Camellias and White. Do you only collect designer bags, or do you have any other high-end collections, like Christian Louboutins or high-end makeup? I have mostly designer bags, and obviously SLGs. I also have a ridiculous amount of designer jeans. I don't know why. I promise you guys, I swear I feel like I'm a hoarder. because once I like something, I tend to just start collecting of that same thing. Not that I don't use the jeans, I do, but that's just one thing. Also, I don't have high-end shoes, really. I think I just have a little bit. I mean, I have different kinds of shoes here and there, but nothing like Louboutins. I have a pair of Louboutins, but I rarely use them. And what else? I don't have a very high-end collection of shoes. And high-end makeup, I more so have a lot of high-end lipsticks or lip glosses, especially my good friend Lady Susan Jane. She will probably be laughing at this, but I'm obsessed with lipsticks, even though I rarely wear them on here. But out, when I'm out, I tend to wear a lot of lipstick, so I don't know. But I don't have a lot of other designer. I have like mid-designer, especially like watches and jewelry and stuff like that. So maybe that counts. Hopefully. Okay. And Mary Fernandez, what's your favorite Chanel bag, favorite designer shoe, and favorite designer jewelry piece? My favorite Chanel bag, hands down, is my Jumbo Classic Flap, especially since that was my one bag that I would pick for the rest of my life. And favorite designer shoe, I'm a huge fan of wedges. And I would have to say my Stuart Weitzman wedges, because they're so comfy and they look very chic, and I could wear them pretty much with anything. And favorite designer jewelry piece. Ooh, that's quite difficult. I'd probably have to say one of my Swarovski rings. Definitely one of my rings for sure, as far as designer pieces go. Okay, that's a good question though. And Robert and Desiree Keene, do you ever feel guilty for the excess of luxury goods that you have? I do not, because it's not like, I work very hard for what I have and what I have accomplished in life. So it's my way of treating myself, and no, I don't regret it, and I don't feel bad whatsoever. Especially because I tend to spoil those around me first, and then I'll worry about myself. Okay. And Happy Girl, how do you feel about Hermes Birkins? Do you want one? I think they're pretty. I think they're nice. Do I want one? As of right now, I do not. Especially for the reasons that I gave you guys in the last video as far as Hermes goes. All right, Emily Gu, how do you feel about buying from Fashion File, and what do you do to save up the money for these designer goods? Okay, let's talk about Fashion File. I am a huge fan of Fashion File, and I'll tell you guys the reasons why. I think you can actually see one of their dust bags right here in the corner. What I love about Fashion File is that they have such a selection of pre-owned designer goods. A lot of these pre-owned goods are actually brand new. They come with tags. They come with everything. Not only that, they have, I believe, I could be mistaken, a 30-day money-back guarantee. As long as you leave the tags that are attached to the pieces, you can return them. I know a few other, online consignment shops, it's pretty much just a exchange and stuff like that. But Fashion File is a refund if you want it, if you're not happy with the item. Their customer service is amazing. Anytime I've had a question with anything, I just call them up, and all of their sales associates are so nice, and they're very thorough with your questions. It's not like you just call and you ask them something, they're just like, what? They're not snobby. They're very knowledgeable, and I absolutely love them. Another reason why I love Fashion File is because they have one of their stores. There's 3 stores. There's one, their main store is in Beverly Hills. They have another store in San Francisco, and they also have a store in Southern California, which is in Carlsbad. And you're able to walk into pretty much all 3 of them. And I've walked into Carlsbad, and oh my goodness. One time I went through the wrong way, because when you walk into the one in Carlsbad, when you first walk up there, you think it's the opening to the store, but it's actually the back room. Oh my gosh. I walked in. First, I saw just shelves of orange, which is obviously Hermes. And then to the left, it could have changed. I haven't been there in a while. They had just Chanel. I mean, it was insane. It was the prettiest sight I've ever seen. But then the young lady directed me to the front, and they have this, I mean, this fabulous Chanel surfboard on their wall, and it's absolutely gorgeous. But their showrooms, I mean, it's just, I absolutely love Fashion File. Not only that, they guarantee authenticity, and they pretty much tell you in the description of what it is that you're purchasing. It tells you if it has a scratch here, there. To be quite honest, when you read the description, they are sometimes above average as far as description, because when you get the item, you're just like, oh, it's actually nowhere near as bad as you would think from what you read. They totally cover every single aspect of the bag or of the piece that you're purchasing. So if you guys are thinking about an online consignment shop, I hands down recommend Fashion File. I absolutely love them. And no, I am not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. I really, really love them, and you guys will be very happy with that company, and they ship worldwide, so that's a huge plus. The only downside, unfortunately, is because it's located in California, and because I live in California, I have to pay sales tax. So those of you that don't live in California don't have to pay sales tax. So that's the only thing that I wish I lived out of state for. But huge, huge kudos for Fashion File. I kind of went on a tangent there, didn't I? And what do you do to save up the money for these designer goods? As I said before in another video, I make sure that I pay every single bill that I have, or anything I pay first. That's always first. If I have to save up for, X, Y, and Z, I'll do that. And then if I have money left over, it's pretty much for me and my husband. And to be honest, I used to get acrylics done all the time. I used to get my nails done all the time, gels, acrylics, or anything like that. And once I stopped getting acrylics, I didn't realize how much money I actually spent on my nails. And now, I have a lot of nail polishes, and that's another reason. I had a lot of them, and I never used them because I'd go get acrylics, and I'd usually get pink and white, the tips and stuff. So then I started doing my own nails, and I kind of like it because I can change my nail color whenever. I don't have to make an appointment, and especially since I have such a chaotic life, it's a lot easier for me. But once I cut that out, I was able to save a lot faster for the things I really, really liked. And sometimes I don't have a lot. I think I have very minimal debt. So that's another reason why I'm able to purchase a lot of items a lot quicker, because of that reason. So if I have this amount of money to spend on bills and, essentials, monthly essentials, then the rest is pretty much left for me and my husband and whatever we want to do. So, I pretty much cut out, so to answer your question, I cut out the unnecessary. For me, it was nails and stuff like that. So I was able to get more of these babies behind me. So that's what I do. It's not a special type of program. I wish I had. Okay. And Girl B, I've heard the quality of designer goods has declined. Would you still say they're worth it? What do you think is the quality difference between lower range and high-end designer? Is it just about the brand name? That is a loaded question. That's a very good question. I would say within the last couple of years, Louis Vuitton has had, I think they're the main one that's had the decline as far as quality. I think that they're trying to step up their game now, especially when they're reintroducing all these handbags, and they're reinforcing them, and they're really listening to the consumer as far as the wear and tear that they have had over the years. And in specific, the Speedies. The Speedies, they tend to wear a certain way. Everybody that has a Speedy knows that sometimes the handles tend to pull too much, or the zipper tab on a lot of older pieces is missing. So they're trying to reinforce a lot of those aspects. And would I say that they're still worth it? Absolutely. And do I think sometimes you're paying for the brand? Yeah, definitely, because a lot of these pieces, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Hermes, Tiffany, even Coach. Coach is from 1941. It might be a mid-range or a lower range designer, if you will, but the reason why you're still paying a pretty penny for them is because of their quality. Is there a difference between, like you said, the lower range and the higher end designers? Yes, in some cases no. For example, Burberry. For me, I don't like them. I think that their quality isn't as good as it should be, especially for what you pay for them. But when you compare that to Louis Vuitton, Louis Vuitton has, as I said before, they have vintage pieces that you're able to get from the 80s, from the 90s, and the Vachetta might be the only thing that you might need to change because it's starting to crack and peel, but we're talking about pieces from, 20, 25 years ago, and they still are, they don't affect the wearability of the bag. So when you have a bag that you can pretty much just pay for changing the Vachetta or changing, something small or getting the piping redone, yes, you're paying, $200 to $300 to get something done, but you're not paying for the entire bag, and you're still able to wear it. That to me speaks volumes of the brand that you're paying for. I mean, think of Chanel, same thing. You're able to buy a vintage piece and you're still able to wear it 20 years later, 25 years later. So that is a big deal. And between lower range and high end, I would say that's the main difference, is that the high end, you are paying for the brand. I'm not going to lie. It has a lot to factor in to the price. However, even though you are paying for the brand, you're more so paying for the piece itself, as far as the quality of the leather, the canvas, the hardware. That's a big thing, especially like the lining of the bag. A lot of Coach bags, even though I had a ton of Coach bags at one time, they all pretty much wore very well. However, sometimes they would wear, they would use a lot of glue in their bags versus, stitching from another high-end designer. So the glue is going to not only discolor the fabric of the interior, but it will start to fall apart and things like that. Another big one that is a designer that you're paying for is Prada. Back in the day, their bags, I had one and I didn't like the quality of them because of the same reason. They used a lot of glue versus the stitching or the hand stitching that Louis Vuitton has, that Chanel has. So I think there is a big difference between lower end and high end. Obviously, more than anything, it would be the price, but you are paying for quality. When you can buy a bag today, and 20 years from now, you can still use it. And depending upon obviously how you use it, you can still wear it and you don't have to worry about it cracking, falling apart, or, carrying stuff in your bag. And then all of a sudden you're walking down the street and it falls apart. You don't have to worry about anything like that, because you're paying for the quality of it. So, I would say they're definitely 100%, they are worth it for that reason. Another example that I'm going to give you guys, like I said, I don't want to make these videos too long, is the designer shoes. A lot of designer shoes are, especially the leather, is made in Italy. A lot of the footwear is made in Italy or in Paris. And when you compare that to a shoe, like a high-heeled shoe that is not made specifically in those places and isn't made out of leather, it's made out of faux leather, the designer shoe will wear better than the other one. The other one might fall apart. Well, don't get me wrong, there are things that will happen to the designer pieces that you can fix, as I said before, but it will wear a lot different. So to me, if you're one for shoes and you want to be comfortable, the leather, the sole, even the heel, everything wears differently on a higher end item. So Call it what you will. A lot of people might think that's snooty, but I honestly think that if you want something really good, you're gonna pay for it. So that's how I see it. And the very last question I'm going to leave you guys with is Me She Designs. Any thoughts on the Chanel wallet on a chain bag? Well, I don't know if you know this. I do have a wallet on chain, which is a walk, and I absolutely love it. It's probably one of my all-time favorite pieces. It's a small bag, but my goodness, it packs a punch. It's very deceiving. I fit a lot in there, and I actually have a what's in my walk, and I'll make sure and link that down below, just so you can see how much you could actually fit in there if you're on the fence of possibly getting that bag. So that is all I have for you guys for Minks Monday. I apologize I made this super long. I still have a ton of questions to go through. So make sure and leave me your questions down below if you guys have any questions about anything. And what else? I want to make sure and make this super, I don't want to make it super long. My goodness, I had something else to tell you guys, but I forgot. Oh, I know. There are a lot of tags out there. I know there's the top 5 handbag tag. Is there any tags that you guys would like me to do? Let me know in the comments down below. I know that usually Wednesdays and Thursdays is when I come on here and I do kind of a different video. Especially because we're nearing November, which I cannot wait, because November is my birth month, and I'm always super excited about my birthday. I swear I'm like a 5-year-old when it comes to my birthday, because it's November 12th. So I can't wait till we get into November, because you'll see me. I get super chippery, and hopefully it's like raining and it's cloudy, because this sun, I'm kind of over it. And I know, I live in Southern California. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys. I'm sorry to make this video so long. I do have some subby mail that I will be unboxing later this week. And then I'll probably do that with whatever tag you guys choose. So let me know in the comments down below. Give it a thumbs up if you liked the video. And don't forget, you guys can also follow me at Minks for All on Instagram, and that is all I have for you guys, and I will see you guys later this week. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.